Kidney problems rarely start with a siren. They whisper. They show up in small ways that are easy to shrug off after a long day. A little ankle swelling that you blame on standing too long. A foamy swirl in the toilet you assume is nothing. A tiredness that coffee doesn't fix. If you've had moments like these, this video is for you. My goal is simple and friendly. By the time we finish, you'll know the early signs most people miss, who needs to pay extra attention, when to get checked, and the everyday steps that protect your kidneys for the long run. This is general information to help you talk with your doctor, not a diagnosis. Let's start with a quick picture of what your kidneys actually do. You have two bean-shaped organs tucked against your back, just under your ribs. Quietly, they filter your blood all day and all night. They remove waste, balance water and minerals like sodium and potassium, help control blood pressure, keep your bones strong by activating vitamin D, and even tell your body to make red blood cells so you don't feel weak or short of breath. When kidneys are stressed, those jobs get harder and small signals begin to appear. You don't have to catch every tiny detail, but recognizing a pattern early can make a huge difference. Some people should be especially alert. If you have diabetes or high blood pressure, if kidney disease runs in your family, if you've had repeated kidney stones or urinary infections, if you smoke, live with obesity, or use over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen or naproxen often, your kidneys are doing extra work. That doesn't mean you're destined for kidney failure. It means you and your doctor are a team, and spotting warning signs early is your superpower. One sign many people miss is swelling in the lower legs, ankles, feet, or puffiness around the eyes when you wake up. Think of your kidneys as traffic controllers for fluid. When they struggle, your body holds onto salt and water, and that fluid sinks to gravity-friendly places. If your socks leave deeper marks than usual or your shoes feel tight by afternoon, pay attention. Some swelling is harmless. Heat and long flights can do it, but if it's new, frequent, or paired with other symptoms, it's worth a conversation and a blood pressure check. Cutting down on salty, ultra-processed foods helps, so does tracking your weight in the morning. A sudden jump of a kilo or two in a few days often means fluid, not fat. Another overlooked clue is consistently foamy or bubbly urine. Tiny bubbles that disappear quickly are common, but a thick, persistent layer of foam, especially if it happens again and again, can be a sign of protein leaking into the urine. Your kidneys are supposed to keep protein in your blood, not let it spill into the toilet. If you notice this, ask your clinician about a simple urine test that looks for protein with a special ratio called a CR-albumin to creatinine. It's quick, painless, and it's one of the earliest ways to catch kidney stress. Changes in how often and how much you urinate are another whisper. You might notice you're getting up more at night, even when you stop drinking fluids a couple of hours before bed. You might see darker urine, tea-colored urine, or urine tinged with blood. Sometimes you go less often than usual, even though you're drinking normally. These changes don't always mean kidney failure. Dehydration, infections, and medications can all play a role, but patterns matter. Keep a simple note for a week. How many times during the day? How many times at night? Any burning, odor changes, cloudiness, or pain? That little log can save you weeks of guessing. Blood pressure is a two-way street with the kidneys. They help regulate it, and in return, high blood pressure wears them down. If your readings are frequently high, or if your numbers are harder to control than before, even with the same medicine, that's a red flag. Home blood pressure cuffs aren't perfect, but they're good enough to notice trends. Rest 5 minutes, sit with your back supported, keep your arm at heart level, and take two readings. A pattern of high results deserves attention, not anxiety. Better control now is kindness to your future kidneys. Fatigue is another quiet sign. Not the "I slept too late" kind, but a deep weariness that makes stairs feel longer and your to-do list heavier. When kidneys struggle, they may signal your body to make fewer red blood cells. Less oxygen delivery means you feel tired, pale, maybe even short of breath on hills that used to be easy. Many things cause fatigue stress, thyroid issues, poor sleep, but when tiredness sits beside other kidney clues, it's time for basic blood and urine tests. Itchy, dry skin that just won't quit, especially at night, can also point toward kidney stress. When waste products and certain minerals build up, your skin can complain. Moisturizers help the surface, but if this itch is new, persistent, and unresponsive to your usual routine, think deeper. Tell your clinician, especially if the itch arrives along with swelling, changes in urine, or fatigue. Nausea, a metallic taste, and a fading interest in food are subtler signals many people chalk up to a bug or a busy week. In later stages of kidney problems, waste can accumulate enough to upset your stomach and dull your appetite. If you find yourself pushing the plate away more often, losing weight unintentionally, or noticing that foods you used to enjoy now taste off, connect the dots with your other symptoms and get checked. Shortness of breath, particularly when you lie down, or a cough that brings up frothy sputum, may be a sign of fluid building up where it shouldn't, including around the lungs. This symptom can be serious. If you notice sudden breathlessness, chest tightness, or if you wake up gasping at night, don't wait for a routine appointment. Seek care promptly. Your heart and kidneys talk to each other constantly. When one is overwhelmed, the other feels it too. Night leg cramps, tingling, or numbness can have many causes, but disturbed mineral balance like too much or too little potassium, calcium, or magnesium often shows up in your muscles first. If cramps start showing up more often, especially alongside other kidney-related hints, bring it up. It's not about blaming one symptom for everything. It's about seeing the bigger picture your body is painting. Flank pain and ache deep in your side or lower back, just under the ribs, can come from muscles after a heavy lift, but it can also point to kidney stones, infections, or a blockage. If pain is sharp, comes in waves, or brings fever, chills, burning urination, or blood in the urine, that's a same-day call or a trip to urgent care. If it's a dull, recurring ache without a clear cause, it still deserves a mention at your next visit. So what tests should you know by name? Write these down or screenshot this part. A basic blood panel will include creatinine, which helps estimate your eGFR, the estimated glomerular filtration rate. That number is a general score of how well your kidneys filter. Your clinician may also check blood urea nitrogen. A urine test looks for protein and blood. The ACR ratio is especially sensitive for early leakage of albumin, which can precede big drops in kidney function by months or years. If something seems off, a simple ultrasound can look at kidney size, shape, and whether there's a blockage. None of these tests replace how you feel, but together, they guide smart decisions. Knowing the red flags that need urgent attention can save lives. If you notice a rapid, significant drop in urine output, swelling that spreads quickly or includes your face and hands, noticeably bloody urine, severe shortness of breath, chest pain, or a thunderclap headache with a very high blood pressure reading, don't wait. Go now. It's always better to be told you're okay than to wish you'd moved sooner. Let's talk about what helps day to day, because prevention is powerful and practical. Start with salt. Most of the salt we eat hides in packaged and restaurant foods. Choosing simple, minimally processed meals cuts a surprising amount without you touching the salt shaker. Your kidneys and blood pressure love that. If you live with diabetes, tight glucose control protects tiny blood vessels in the kidneys more than almost anything else you can do. A home glucose meter or continuous monitor, your medication plan, and regular A1C checks are investments in future you. If you don't have diabetes but enjoy sugary drinks and snacks, swapping some of those out for water or unsweetened options is a quiet win. Blood pressure goals are personal, but many adults aim for under 130/80ths when it's safe. Medication helps, but so do small, consistent habits. A daily walk, more fruits and vegetables, and a steady sleep schedule. If you smoke, quitting is one of the best gifts you can give every organ you own. And about over-the-counter pain relievers. They're effective and often safe for short bursts, but using them day after day can strain kidneys. If you rely on them frequently, ask your clinician about alternatives, doses, or protective strategies. What about water? You'll hear people claim that chugging liters and liters will flush your kidneys. The truth is more balanced. Your kidneys like a steady, sensible flow enough to keep you hydrated, not so much that you dilute your body's chemistry. For most healthy adults, drinking when you're thirsty and a bit more during heat, exercise, or illness is fine. If you've been told to limit fluids for heart or kidney reasons, follow that advice instead. There's no prize for the clearest urine if it puts stress elsewhere. Diet patterns that are kidney-friendly look a lot like what protects your heart. Plenty of vegetables and fruits, beans and whole grains, modest portions of protein, and less sodium, and ultra-processed foods. A Mediterranean or DASH style pattern isn't a strict diet. You have to fear it's a framework you can customize with the flavors you love. If you've already been told your kidney function is reduced, ask for a referral to a dietitian who can tune potassium and phosphate intake to your labs. Guessing and cutting everything out isn't necessary and can make meals miserable. Let's also bust a couple of stubborn myths. Herbs are natural, so they're always safe for kidneys. Not necessarily. Some supplements are harmless. Others can be risky because of unknown ingredients, heavy metals, or diuretic effects that shift your electrolytes. Always loop your clinician in before starting something new, especially if you take prescriptions. Another myth says if I don't feel pain, my kidneys are fine. Unfortunately, kidney disease is often silent for a long time. That's why simple screening, especially if you're in a higher-risk group, is so valuable. Think of it like checking the oil in your car. You don't wait for the engine light. Now, let's stitch these threads into a simple checklist you can use this week. Notice your ankles and socks at day's end. Take a glance at the toilet a few times. Foam that lingers is worth noting. Pay attention to how many times you get up at night and whether that's new for you. Check your blood pressure at home a few times over the next week and jot the numbers down. Ask yourself how your energy has been lately. Are you more winded than usual on stairs you climb all the time? Has your skin been itchier at night for no clear reason? Have foods started tasting off, or have you lost your appetite? Are muscle cramps waking you at night? Any deep side pain without a lifting injury? If 2 or 3 of these ring true, don't panic plan. Call your clinician's office and ask for a basic kidney panel creatinine with eGFR, BUN, a urine test with the albumin to creatinine ratio, and a blood pressure review. If anything urgent from earlier shows up like severe breathlessness, blood in urine, or barely peeing, seek care now. If you've watched this far, you're already doing something many people don't. You're listening to the quiet. You're not waiting for a crisis. That mindset is powerful. Kidneys can heal from insults when you catch problems early. Blood pressure can be smoothed out. Blood sugar can be tamed. Medications can be adjusted to protect your filters. Small changes compound over months, and what feels like a gentle nudge today can be the reason you avoid big treatments in the future. Here's how to turn awareness into action without flipping your life upside down. Pick 2 habits for the next 7 days. First, swap one salty, packaged meal for a simpler home meal grilled protein, a big salad with olive oil and lemon, and a baked potato or whole grain. Second, take a 20-minute walk after dinner 5 nights this week. Those 2 alone can shift blood pressure, sleep, and cravings. If you like, add a third, a nightly wind down that doesn't involve screen stretching, a book, calming music. Better sleep supports every organ, kidneys included. And if you use pain relievers frequently, schedule a quick check-in to explore safer long-term options for your situation. You might be wondering, what if my tests come back a little off? Does that mean I'm doomed? Not at all. Kidney function naturally varies, and labs must be interpreted in context. Age, muscle mass, hydration, and medication matter. One mildly abnormal result is a nudge to recheck and to fine-tune habits. Multiple consistent results show a trend. Trends are treatable. The goal isn't perfection, it's early course correction. Before we wrap, try a short reflection. In the last month, have you noticed puffier ankles, foam that lingers after you pee, stubborn itch at night, or unusual tiredness? If yes, what's one step you can take in the next 48 hours to investigate booking labs, checking your blood pressure, or writing a symptom note? If no, what's one protective habit you'll start this week? Less salt at dinner, a daily walk, or quitting cigarettes with support? Your kidneys don't need you to do everything. They need you to do something consistently. Thank you for spending this time caring about an organ that doesn't complain until it has to. If this helped you connect the dots, consider sharing it with someone who keeps brushing off their swelling or their nightly bathroom trips. Early attention is the friendliest medicine we have. And if you're ready to take the next step, make that short list for your clinician. Ask about creatinine with eGFR, BUN, a urine ACR, and whether an ultrasound makes sense for you. Keep listening to those whispers. They're your body's way of asking for a little help today so it can keep helping you for decades to come.